What about arcade?
Arcade, which is kind of the lowest tier.
Yeah.
Or the lowest part of the tier.
Kind of like trick or treat, eat that other stuff.
That's right.
You know, it's just the
Yeah,
other stuff.
that's the trick.
Filler.
All the health food that nobody wants to eat, right?
It's the lettuce in your salad.
Oh, it's an apple. Look at that.
Set it aside. So, Raqi,
So, Jeff,
what do you got
what
going
do
on?
I have going?
One more thing. One more
This
thing.
time I one more thing.
Air tags.
I want everything.
I want the air tags.
Behringer Q802. You got 2 for your XLRs, and then you got 2 for your stereo plug-in, so you can plug it into your phone and get that type of recording.
I like the fact that with magnifier and the camera app, if you touch the viewfinder, like you keep that active
it'll
and you just point your
describe.
finger, it'll describe stuff. It's really neat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It does it in the camera app, too.
Magnifier does that
I
too.
love that.
The new microphone dropped from Shure.
Yes.
It's the NV7. Now, this is a combination XLR, where you plug it into a mixer, and USB.
I want this in my life.
Huh. Interesting. Well.
So what is the Concept 2?
Concept 2 is a rowing machine. This rower is used by boathouses kind of everywhere. It's monumentally known among rowers. The Concept 2, it's called Data, and it's accessible. But the super cool thing about this app is that it has voice guidance on it. And then it will basically read out your, just your stroke rate, all your information, calorie burn, whatever, as you row.
Interesting.
Hey, this is Laura from Nvda Con Planning Committee. Just wanted to let everybody know that Nvda Con will be held the 5th and 6th of December. Now, a tidbit for the day is how to start and stop NVDA. 1. To start NVDA, hit Alt-Control plus the letter N. Or to just run it, hit Windows R plus type in NVDA. Or from the desktop, just hit the letter N. Now, to exit NVDA, it's the NVDA key, which can be one of 3, your caps lock key, insert key on your 6-pack, or the big 0 key on your number pad. Stay tuned for more tidbits like this coming up soon.
Live from the Blind Ability Studios, this is Tech Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson, and with me is Raqi. How you doing?
I'm good, Jeff. How are you?
Good. Also, we have Angie. Angie, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
With the elections, pretty much.
Excuse me, company policy. No politics. No. 3, 2, 1.
There's something else that came out. Apple One, and I subscribed to the whole 9 yards. $29 a month. Anybody else?
I did too. The same plan.
You went all in on it.
Yep, all in.
What did you get for that?
Well, as Apple puts it, you can bundle up to 6 amazing Apple services into one easy subscription. You can get a plan that's just right for you or for the whole family. And all members have private access to each service across all their devices. You got Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, iCloud, Apple News Plus, and Apple Fitness Plus coming late 2020. Angie, what did you get?
I got a lot more iCloud storage, 2 terabytes, which is awesome. That's actually why I wanted it. I already had Apple Music. That's another part of it. And Apple TV Plus. Yeah, it's good stuff.
What about Arcade?
Arcade, which is kind of the lowest tier.
Yeah.
Or the lowest part of the tier.
Kind of like trick or treat, eat that other stuff.
That's right.
You know, it's just the
Yeah.
other stuff.
That's the trick.
Filler.
All the health food that nobody wants to eat, right?
It's the lettuce in your salad.
Oh, it's an apple. Look at that.
Set it aside.
It's just a garnish, right? You did it for Apple
Yes.
TV and for Apple Music.
and
Yeah.
Feels like
storage.
you got more weight
Yeah.
to the
Storage.
package, yeah. But the storage, I really like that because when you think about Dropbox, what is it, 119 for the big package that I have? It's crazy when you really
Yeah.
think about it because now I can use 2 terabytes worth of storage and I can do it on the family share.
And you can also get more if you need it. So
Yeah, up to 4 terabytes.
Wow, really? That
Yeah.
I didn't know.
yes, you can.
Wow.
You can add on.
Makes me think of that song, If I Had a Million Terabytes.
I would save my smart house.
That I did not know. Boy, that's really cool.
The thing is, with Apple News Plus, I like it for a while, but then after just a little bit, it's like, okay, it's the same apple pie every day,
I got the same information, or all the information I feel like I needed from Apple News without the Plus. I don't feel like, for me personally, I gain that much by having Apple News Plus.
But when you click on that article, that's really neat, and they say, we're sorry, you have to have Apple Plus.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Behind a paywall. Too bad. So sad.
They might as well just reach out and slap you a couple times, like, what are you doing?
You've been chastised. Get the Plus.
Yeah.
You've already read your quota of free articles for this month, and now you have to pay.
Oh, yeah.
You get 4 free articles.
Yeah, what is that? The Wall Street Journal? That does that?
Yeah.
A lot of them do.
But they also have the audio, and I thought the audio was really cool. It's like listening to a podcast of an article, and they have professional audio readers doing it, but it doesn't really refresh. It's like you go back in there, it's the same guys hanging out there. Can I read this to you? No, you're 2 weeks old, It's like, so I don't know what they're going to do with that. I think it's one of those things that's in the package, but it's all about the storage for me. Apple TV Plus, I like that. Apple Music, I like that. So otherwise, I'd be paying right about that area, but if I can drop my Dropbox now, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So, Raqi, you didn't even think about doing it? Nothing?
No, I really did. Not at all. I do like the storage idea. I have to wrap my mind around it a little bit.
Mind wrapping.
Because like you, I have the Dropbox, and mostly I like it when I have to move a lot of stuff. There's always that emergency, how am I going to get it from here to there? And I've got to move, several gigs of stuff, and Dropbox is always a good safety net. So I can see doing it for the iCloud storage because I'm pretty entrenched in the ecosystem, and so I like having things available on all the devices. But I don't know. I'm torn. I don't honestly. I thought Apple News was great for a while, and I really burned out on it. I get my news, I guess, routinely from other places, and I'm a sort of a creature of habit. So I played with it for a little while, especially when I was commuting. It was a fun thing to mess around with, but it's not my thing. I get news from other sources, I guess, and Arcade doesn't do too much for me, and I do like Apple TV. I'm starting to really like some of their content, so that might motivate me to do it, but my subscription doesn't end until February now, so I've got a few months to think about it.
You got time to decide.
Between buying this new phone that I'm obviously going to buy next week, and the Mac, which I suspect I'm also going to buy, I'm trying really hard not to spend any more money on myself, at least not this year until I have to, because I may be down the road, I'll be compelled to do it, but
13-inch Apple Air Silicon Mac?
Yeah,
Sky blue? What do you think?
One more thing. That's your challenge for the year, should you choose to accept it. Buy one more Mac.
One more thing.
One more Mac. One more Apple thing.
That's the way I'm going to close out this crappy, funky, weird year. I'm going to spend a bunch of money I probably shouldn't spend and upgrade devices that desperately need upgrading. Maybe not so much my phone, but my Mac really needs a refresh, so it's time, and I waited long enough. I'm gonna jump at just, a little sticker shock.
I just bought the 2020 MacBook Pro 13-inch this year, so I'm gonna be on the fence for a while. But that's okay.
Well, it's really interesting because rumor has it there's going to be 3 new Mac products. You got the 13-inch MacBook Pro, you got the 13-inch Mac Air, and then you have the 16-inch MacBook Pro. But actually, under the hood, it just seems like they took out the Intel and put in their, what they call the silicone into it. And there's no real...
compelling reason to do anything about it. I'm curious about it. I want to play with one, but yeah, I don't regret my purchase. I'm not like, oh man, I wish I hadn't bought this thing now.
But would you buy today, knowing that they're starting to come out?
No, I'd wait because that's just me.
Well, I'm not looking for a MacBook Pro right now, but I bet people could get a really good deal on the Intel versions of these right now, and I wouldn't hesitate. I believe they'll probably be good for 4 or 5 years. It's a Mac.
Oh yeah, you know what? It'll be 2026 before you'll start struggling to really. You'll be wanting a new battery by the time the thing is on the obsolete list. So I wouldn't worry about that too much.
And that's a great thing about Macs. They last forever, and they
do
get updates forever. So the longevity of a Mac is amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they fix that keyboard. I'm just praying that we get rid of that all the way across the board, that they use scissor keys and they don't compromise the keyboard for the thinness of the laptop, and they decide to put a decent keyboard. That was one of the main reasons I held out for so long.
Well, this Mac has the T cross,
The scissor keys.
Yeah.
It doesn't have those butterfly.
They're gone.
Bad butterfly.
Gah.
Yep, I like that. I like that went back. I heard they had 80,000 of those those flat keyboards in stock.
I believe it. Who wants them? Probably can't give them away. They were awful.
But it's going to be interesting. I'm really excited to hear how they present these Macs out there and if they're going to have anything else come with them. Some people are saying that the tags will be here.
I want
don't
the
know.
tags.
I heard that too.
I want the tags.
I heard that.
One more thing. Is it like one more show, one more thing? Or is it one more
One more
thing
Mac
after
thing.
the other?
The Mac is the grand finale.
Well, maybe after the third Mac, they'll say, oh,
One more thing.
One more
Air
thing.
tags. Air tags.
What a cool way to round out this year, though. Really, what a neat way to have a culmination for 2020. Right? It's been just such a weird year. What a neat way to
Air tags.
just drop a bunch of beautiful new devices on us.
Air tags.
it's so easy to go online now.
If I had 1 million air tags.
I think they'll be coming.
If I only had an air tag.
Yes. And an earworm.
You wouldn't be lost. You know what's really neat about them, though? Say you dropped an AirTag. Other people would walk by with an iPhone. It would ping to those and send you a message where it may be. And they're thinking because it might be set up so it'll send you a picture of where it'll be, because with augmented reality, that they think that there's a lot more coming to this than we really, I don't know why it's still delayed. If they've been ready, why didn't they roll them out before? I don't know. But they can't wait. They can't have a isolated thing. Like Apple One, when it came out, I had to look at my phone. Then I went back into my subscriptions and there it was. It was like they didn't really come out and say, hey, Jeff.
I know somebody who signed up with Apple One through the web. And I'm like, I did it through subscriptions. You can also do it through, that brings up another part of this as well, like where people can go to sign up for it. You can either do it through your iCloud settings, or your subscriptions and settings, or you can do it through the App Store subscriptions.
Yeah. I like that. You just go into settings, tap on your name up on top, and just wait a little bit, and then it populates up, and there's your subscriptions.
Populates.
There it is.
I love that.
And it's so cool to see that 2 terabytes. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I can save crap now. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to
2
worry about 2
terabytes,
terabytes.
yeah.
Just save everything. Who cares?
That's it.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You don't really have to.
I don't have to be
though.
sparing
That's what I
anymore.
like about
Do you remember the 32 gigabyte phones?
I'll never fill this up.
You'd be like, delete, 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 delete. I just want to upgrade. That's when you realize, what do you mean I only got 28 gigabytes?
I can't believe they sold 16 gig phones. I mean, now they just seem so tiny. And remember, weren't there a couple 8s?
Which gave you like 4 gigs to store things
Also,
with.
weren't there a few 8s?
Yes.
The SEs
There were 8 gig
or
phones.
something?
Yeah.
Weren't
The first one, the 3.
The
Wasn't it
SE?
the 3?
No, the multicolored one, the iPhone C.
The 5C. 5C.
That had
Yeah. Those only went up to like, I think those were like 32
maybe
gigs.
the 4. Some of them were 8 gigs.
Some of them were
16s.
8s. I think the 4 had 8, 16. And they were on 16 gigs forever. Yeah.
Can't you imagine having an 8? You'd have to delete your contacts just to
I
do
know.
anything.
I think the smallest phone I ever had was 32. And I used to watch my friends with 16 gigs, and 11 gigs would be OS and apps and stuff. And then I'd have hardly any place to put
You have
it.
2 gigs to store things on.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Lori traded in her phone and no, she didn't trade in her phone. I said, no, I'll keep it. And I got it. And all of a sudden I started transferring stuff over from a backup. It was a 32 gigabyte. And I was like, whoa.
What am I going to do with that?
No room.
You know how long it takes when every app has to say, sorry, there's no room. Sorry, there's no, sorry. That was a pain in the
It's
butt.
got 300 apps.
I know. It's,
Sorry, there's no room.
yeah.
You got to deny each one individually, right? You can't just say deny all.
Right? So I do like the fact that you can sign up the family with it, but it's a little tricky for the storage. I thought that Lori's phone would just populate up because she pays the 99 cents. I was paying $2.99. So when I upgraded, I had to go in there and send her a message to her phone. Then she had to accept the message. Then she had to go down in and say, yeah, I really want to do this, because she had the option to keep her own plan and pay the 99 cents still. But no, she opted to not do it, so it transferred everything over to there. And hers is a separate account within the 2 terabytes. She took up, 3 gigabytes or something like that. So...
Ooh. Ooh.
Hey, don't judge.
Don't
judge.
Ooh. Don't begrudge her that 3 gigs. You be nice now. You give her a few extra while you're at it.
Yeah.
Out of your 2 terabytes, I think you won't even notice that 3 gigs. You be nice to her.
Do you, Jeff, take this woman, Lori, to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold in sickness and in health, and to share your 2 terabyte iCloud storage until wait, Jeff, no, stop crying. You have to share, Jeff. You have to share. Stop crying. What? Okay, let's start over.
It was a little convoluted to do it while everything else just seamlessly shared right across and was ready to roll. So I like that.
That's cool. That's nice.
I'm Jeff, the gigabyte hoarder.
Can you access each other's material if you want to, or are your libraries totally separate? How does it work?
Accounts.
Separate.
Totally separate.
Nice.
It's all separate.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I'm really waiting for the Apple Fitness Plus because I heard it's going to be pretty good and I wanted to see how accessible it's going to be. So after Apple Fitness Plus comes out, that's when I'll make the judgment because Apple News Plus is not winning me over too much at all. Arcade's not winning me over. So that's when I'll decide if it's worth $29 to give it a shot and see how I'm going to utilize the storage and all that stuff. So.
And you get a free month anyway, so it's not going to start charging you until November, or the end of this month. So
that's worth it. The fitness stuff, I could see doing it for that. Stuff. If that ends up being accessible and pretty decent, I could see going in for the storage and the fitness, and Apple Music and Apple TV would make it worth it for me. That I would do it.
Same.
If the fitness ends up being good.
I do a lot of rowing, and they have rowing as one of their things. So I'm really curious just to see how this is going to work.
You do?
Yes.
Do you have a rowing machine?
I have a Concept 2.
Really? I was just going to ask you, is there a good kind and a bad kind? Or
Concept 2? Yeah, we have to get together and talk about this stuff because I have authors for you too. So
we really should.
Hey, you know what? We're together right now.
I knew you were going to say something. I thought he's going to make some cheeky, snarky comment. I knew it.
No better time than the present, right?
I'm just curious.
So what is the Concept 2?
Concept 2 is so their whole thing is, they call them ergs. And they have a rowing machine, a ski erg, and a bike erg. And I have the rowing machine. This rower is used by boathouses kind of everywhere. It's monumentally known among rowers. The Concept 2, it's called Erg Data, and it's accessible. But the super cool thing about this app is that it has voice guidance on it. So when you pair your PM5, which is your performance monitor, with this app, it's Bluetooth enabled. So it connects to your phone that way. And then it will basically read out your, just your stroke rate, all your information, calorie burn, whatever, as you row.
Interesting.
It's super cool. It's really awesome. And I don't know any other fitness equipment that does this. It's kind of pricey, but it's not as bad as
Is it worse than an Apple?
Cheaper than Peloton?
Product?
Yeah, no, it's cheaper than Peloton. Way cheaper than Peloton.
Peloton's up there with buying Orcam or something.
$40 a month.
It was like $9 something. I think it was like $9.40.
Okay.
Again, it's accessible, so it was worth it.
Yeah.
And it's a really good rower.
Well, you're under $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are $2,000-$3,000.
Do you like it?
I do.
Does the seat slide?
Yes.
Because I've seen some rowers where it's all arm.
Interesting.
I like it where it's arms and legs.
Yeah. It's both. So your feet are strapped in, the seat slides along the monorail, and then you have a handle in front of you that you push off, you pull back, that comes with you. There's a damper setting on the flywheel. It's flywheel driven, so it's kind of noisy, but it feels really good.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When you let go of the handle, does it retain itself or do you have to go find it?
If you let it go of it, it basically will fly back into the machine and
scoot forward.
There is a handle hook. There is a hook that it can sit in, that you can put it in. It's a bit back from the foot plates. So when you strap in, you can basically lean forward and grab it.
Good.
If you keep it in the handle hook, and that's where I keep mine.
How much space does it take up? How much real estate?
Well, it comes apart. It can separate into 2 pieces if you needed to. It's about 4 feet long. It basically lives along the wall of our dining room, and it's super narrow, so it's not terribly intrusive at all.
But when it's set up,
and reach up and grab a snack too.
Can you use it right there?
It's
you don't
it's
have
a
to
few.
move it
It's
out.
maybe
you can use it where it lives.
5 inches inches away from the wall, if that.
God, I wish I could.
Yeah,
see
that's where I
this
use
thing.
it. It just sits right there.
Yeah.
It's
That's
awesome.
Well, if you
interesting.
listen to the podcast, you can hear all about it again.
This is true. If I miss anything, I'll catch
I'll
it.
make a recording for you,
yeah.
Jeff, and let you hear it.
Totally. Yeah, do that. Let's hear.
When I do my
Let's
thing
hear.
tomorrow, I'll totally record some of it. Let you listen to it.
Super. That'd be awesome.
58 seconds, 170 meters, 536 current pace, 42 strokes per minute, 8 calories.
And I'm just rowing. This is
1 minute 13 seconds, 216 meters, 238 current pace, 21 strokes per minute, 10 calories. One minute 28 seconds, 267 meters, 219 current pace, 27 strokes per minute, 13 calories.
But as I can hear, you can hear if you do.
1 minute 41 seconds, 310 meters, 219 current pace, 24 strokes per minute, 16 calories.
If you do Bluetooth earphones, you can, get a lot more information. Yeah, that's the rower. That's the information it gives you. That is essentially what it does. That's a really quick and dirty demo.
Plus, I like that it's accessible. I kind of like to be able to spread the word about equipment that people are able to use independently. I think some folks would be interested.
Concept 2 have been amazing to deal with. I mean, they're very aware of, they make rowing, like you can adapt this thing for one-armed rowers, one-leg rowers, people who are partial amputees. They're very much aware of the various and sundry access
I like that.
issues that people may run into or have. And they cover pretty much everything. And they even do, like, there are challenges throughout the year. And the one that's coming up, they have one, it's from November, like Thanksgiving to Christmas Eve. And you can basically choose, I'm going to do the Nature Conservatory, but there are charities you can choose to sponsor.
The Pacific Ocean.
Yes.
Hawaii, here I come.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. But yeah. And you just get these certificates for completing challenges, and the challenges are fun, and it's just kind of fun to watch. Your logbook is there, and you can see that the meters going up, and I've done like 3 million meters.
So you can
this year
progress, you can track it.
What got you interested in the concept too?
The accessibility factor. I'd never tried rowing before, and I wanted to just see how well I could, make this thing happen. I've done the elliptical thing, I've done the treadmill thing, and they're what they are, but they take up a lot of space, and it's just, rowing is kind of what you make it.
So this is really interesting. So you've done the elliptical and you like this better? You find that you like this? Is it just more of a full body workout for you, or? Okay.
Yes, I feel like it works more of you, and you get out of it what you put into it. So if you just sit there and you use just your arms and you just pull the handle and you don't apply, like the bigger muscles, your legs, your core, then you're not really going to get anything out of it.
Interesting.
In the wintertime here in Minnesota, a lot of people do the rowing machine because they can't get out and run as much. And they say that it's just as big as a workout as running, but you
It
don't
is.
have the impact either of running.
Nope, it's very low impact. It doesn't mess up your knees. It's not going to rack your knees or,
That's sort of what I like about it is this. I've heard the same thing Jeff said, that if you choose to put your, the effort into it, it can be a real full body workout. And I always assumed you needed an elliptical to do that, that it would be more working your arms and your upper body and wouldn't do enough for your legs and your core, your torso. But apparently it does. It's interesting. You have to let us hear what it sounds like. It's cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'll totally record it.
We went from Apple to Concept 2, but
That's it. Well, the app, you can totally tie it into that via the app.
nice.
Just the way it reads.
Jeez, you learn something every day.
I'm going to put something in the show notes for this so people can click on it and go look at it. I think it's a great idea. I really like the rowing machine, but I've never been able to find one. It seems like the ones that are at the gym and stuff like that, you get their name of them and you look them up and they're like $2,500 or something,
Yeah.
Crazy prices. So this seems like something that's attainable.
Yeah. And like a lot of magnetic rowers just don't, I don't know. I don't, it's a whole different feel. I like the flywheel driven rowers a little better. And that's what this is.
Is it hard to maintain it? Do you have to do stuff to maintain it?
Honestly, people say it is. And I live, we're in the desert, so you'd think that dust, right? But all I've ever done is wipe off the monorail and make sure that the rollers that move your seat back and forth are cleaned. That's all I've ever done. And oiling the chain that connects your handle to the machine. That's it, really.
Huh.
You can take apart the flywheel and clean it out, but I've never done it. I've had this thing for almost a year, and I've never done that.
Wow, you haven't had to. Is it mobile? Can you move it if you have to, or is it pretty heavy stationary?
The front part is a little heavier. The part where the flywheel is, that comes apart kind of in the middle.
Okay.
The heaviest part of it is the flywheel. But the whole thing altogether was about 50 pounds, so it's not that bad.
Oh, it's not bad.
What kind of cable is it on from the
It's
handles?
like a bungee with a chain.
Yeah, so it makes that zzz sound.
Yeah, it does.
Cool. I like that zzz sound.
Yeah, I think the magnetic ones are the quiet ones, but I always hear that they're cheaper.
The magnetic ones are really quiet, but
they,
the resistance just sort of doesn't feel...
No, it's just like when you're on a stationary bicycle and you stand up or something like that, you can make it slip. I don't like that feeling. No. It's like when you got that last step, you think there's one more, but there's not. Or when you're going up and there's a horse pawing at the top one. It's like, whoa, what a feeling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Angie, I heard you're headed off to the Apple Store.
I'm going to the Apple Store on the 13th. I'm going to look at the Max and the Mini. I'm not buying anything else phone-wise. Can't do it.
HomePod Mini?
I want to get a HomePod Mini.
Ooh.
Possibly get one. I want it for the bathroom. I know. Intercom for the
Hey, gotta have tunes in the shower.
Have you guys done anything with intercom? The intercom feature. Have you guys played with that yet?
I don't have a HomePod, so
No.
It's in the Home app.
yeah, you need a HomePod to do it, to set it up with.
Yeah, I gotta start dropping some cash. I feel like I'm not even in the orchard anymore.
Yeah, what's the deal, Jeff? Well, he signed up for the subscription. I guess that's dropping
That's
some
it.
cash.
That'll do it.
That's the fringes of the orchard.
Yeah, that's give me a ticket. And that 12 Pro Max maybe on the horizon. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
yours
see.
and mine. You know, it's not much bigger than the 11. I was looking at the measurements and I took them all for the 12 Pro and the iPhone 11 and the 12 Pro Max. And boy, it's not much different. So, it's about the size of the iPhone 11.
The 12 Pro is not a little phone. Everyone's like, it's going to be really small. No, it's not. It's really not.
Smaller than the 11.
We're just getting acclimated to all these phones. It's like, what a problem we're having.
I don't know, 5 different. Well, I think the sides being straight makes the phone seem smaller.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it makes it look taller too.
I'll have to see.
Maybe taller and more narrow.
I got to get Stitch Fix to work on that.
I'm curious to know about the 12's battery life. I'm a little afraid to jump for the 12 Pro. I keep thinking the 12 Pro Max, for all that it's big, might just have stellar battery life compared to the other phones. I'm a little afraid that if I go from the 11 to the 12 Pro, that I'll forfeit some battery life.
Especially if you're on 5G. Oh, wow. Yeah. Battery eating for breakfast.
Really? I've heard that from other people too. So do you have 5G where you are? Do they actually have it? Is it real 5G or is it fake 5G?
It's not the AT&T 5GE. It's T-Mobile, and it does show up as 5G, but I think it's slower than LTE. I actually did speed tests.
Interesting.
And so far, it's been a little bit slower than LTE.
Wow.
I figure that'll change, but as of right now, it is slower than LTE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not every city has it either. All of our stuff says 5G out here too, but it's not. It's LTE.
That is fun.
They've just renamed it.
That's like one of those things, it's like the 5G's coming. Yeah, it's coming. It's just like your LiDAR. You said you opened up the magnifier and you had the people detection type of setting.
Did you test it yet? Oh, you can't. It's in the LiDAR, and it's a beta thing.
Beta.
I've actually played with it. I actually did play with it.
Have you?
Yes.
Does it work?
It does work.
Does it work?
Yes.
Does it tell their height? Does
That's
it
enough
identify
right
the
there.
people?
No, that's measure.
Oh,
you do that
measure.
through measure, and I don't think that works with voiceover yet. The people detection definitely works.
So how do you do it? Do you just open magnifier, or is there something in there you got to change?
You open magnifier, and then it puts magnifier in your control center.
Yeah.
Go to that, and then you double tap on people detection and make sure it's on, and then you just walk around with
Like the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see how this works. Table, chair, plate, pancakes. Serina Gilbert. Serina Gilbert stealing pancakes. Serina Gilbert stealing pancakes and escaping on large goat.
I can't. That sold me right there. That
It makes a noise and it taps you. And
I like that.
it'll increase in frequency. Like the noise will just go faster and faster as the person gets closer and closer to you. It's really neat. I like it. It's a fun idea.
What if it says boogeyman approaching quickly?
I'm looking forward to using this on Amtrak when I'm trying to find an
Yes.
empty seat in the morning.
Yes.
And I don't want to like reach over and smack people with my cane and get the dirty look that they all give me. You know what?
Oh, people are just...
I don't want to reach over there and tap some poor person's ankle with my cane if I can avoid it. You know, I'd rather know if the seat's empty. I'm not going to stop at every seat and go, excuse me, is somebody sitting here? You know?
And I like the fact that you can... I mean, this isn't quite the same thing at all, but I like the fact that with magnifier and the camera app, if you touch the viewfinder, like you keep that active
it'll
and you just point your
describe.
finger, it'll describe stuff. It's really neat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It does it in the camera app too.
Magnifier does that too.
I love that.
It's
Jeez.
the same idea, yeah.
I think
It's really
that's
cool.
fabulous.
Just walk around the room and have it describe stuff. Some of the things it comes up with, I'm like, what? Where do you get that? But, you know, it's learning.
I told you about the picture of the blood when it told me it thought it
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
blood.
and
That
it thought your
freaked
dog was a
me
kitty.
out. It's like there's the dog laying on a blanket that might have blood on it. I'm like, oh, thank you. But it saw that little red strip. So it's weird how it'll try to interpret for you what it thinks it sees.
I think this is going to be a big experiment for a while. I like that you said it's in a beta format. It's always interesting when they have the word
It's 14.2 beta. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. So another reason I should get a phone.
Yeah.
The height detection, I haven't gotten to work yet. I don't think it's working with voiceover. And if it is, I haven't been able to make it happen. But I'm really curious to get that to work as well.
And that's where it'll tell the height of someone or measure. That's weird.
It uses the measure app to determine height
That's pretty cool too.
and the LiDAR feature.
I wonder why they thought that. Why, is there a need for this? I remember 7-Eleven stores having these little bars on the door. Like if someone robs it, oh, they're 5 foot. Yeah, right there, 5'7", you know, or something like that. Huh. I don't know why heights would be in there, but something.
Well, for measuring for distances, maybe not for people, but for distances. Maybe you want to measure, you know, you're a woodworker.
Like a doorway.
You should
How
know about-
tall is your doorway?
Like a door, a stud. You're looking for where to put a nail in a stud, and they all have to be
Measured
you know,
so far
63 and a half inches from the molding. So
Oh yeah, yeah, I get it. I mean, we're just getting little anecdotes of it, of what its capacity. I don't even know if they know how good it is. I mean, I had Apple on an interview, and I mentioned LiDAR, and I got crickets. You know, they didn't.
What?
It just went quiet.
they're not going to tell you
No,
nothing.
and
They're not gonna
until
tell you
it's
anything.
in the store, they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So I just got crickets. It was like a vacuum of sound disappearing.
Are you
should have put
there?
some crickets, but you should have got some cricket sounds behind them and put that.
We won't discuss that.
I love that. Cricket.
You can just tell when you're not going to get an answer. It's like,
You just the silence.
Yeah.
You just move on.
Move on.
Move on, please. We're not.
speaking of moving on, the new microphone dropped from Shure.
Yes.
It's the NV7. Now, this is a combination XLR, where you plug it into a mixer, and USB.
I want this in my life.
And it also
Very nice.
it has a mute button on it, and you can adjust the gain as well. Plus, you can directly monitor it. And another thing you can do with it, you can run it into XLR and USB simultaneously.
What?
Yeah,
Nice.
so you could have a backup sitting next to you.
I want this.
Simultaneously.
I want this in my life. It sounds amazing. Hopefully it sounds amazing.
How much is it, Jeff? What's the price? Let's
$249.
It's like getting two mics for the price of one, though.
Well,
It is. It is. And it's awfully versatile if it sounds good. I'd have to hear it.
Well, I did listen to a demo of it, and it's like you ever go into a wine tasting where after like the fifth glass,
Everything sounds
Yeah.
the same.
They all taste
it's
the same.
good. It's good.
Yeah.
So I was listening to it, and you know, it sounds good. For a USB, I think they've come a long ways. I thought I'd never be saying, yeah, USB sounds good, but it's actually designed for USB because it actually comes with the Motive app that you can load up, and then you can adjust like your limiter, your compression, your gain, and there's other type of settings that you can have. I don't know. I'm more of a raw sounding type of guy,
Yeah.
but you know, it gives people that are into podcasting, and that's what they say. The best thing it's for is voice. So if we're doing voiceovers or doing just voice for podcasting, and it's just typical of the 7B. It hangs up, comes down at you, and then it swings, and it's like a flashlight tube, you know. like a stirrup holding it. So it's got that broadcasting look to it of the 7B, and it has the big foam over it. So it's all that, and it's just really curious. I didn't see it coming, but it's really nice that they're starting to make stuff for podcasters, and I think this is an answer to the demand for microphones for podcasting.
I think I'm like you, Jeff. I don't like things to auto adjust for me. I like to find my own levels and leave things where they work best. So
yeah, it's something out there. Some people could go for the ATR 2100 or the Q2U that we mentioned last time. Now those are less than half that price at about $100, maybe a little less. And you got a pretty good microphone there too. So however, if you're interested in the Shure, which they build them like tanks, I'm sure it's going to be a good microphone. I'd like to actually get one. Microphones is something that you'd actually like to get your lips on. You know what I mean? You want to,
Be sure to go with Shure.
Talk through it. You want to hear it.
We will like you a lot. We assure you.
So Shure, if you're listening, you could send us one. Give us a call.
We'd love a sample. We'd be happy to test a sample.
Give us a call at 612-367-6093 and we'll give you the address.
We'll be sure to advertise. We'll be sure.
Make that 3 of them.
We can share. Sure. Yeah, we'll be sure to advertise the Shure.
Nice.
The really neat thing is the Motive app is the same application. It may be beefed up a little bit for this, but it's the application that you'll find on the iPhone for the MV88 and various other ones that they have. And it's pretty robust. It's accessible.
It's really nice and usable now, too. It's very accessible with VoiceOver.
This is another step up. I was always wondering if they'd ever take this to another level, and they just did. So check it out. I'll put a link in the show notes, and I think it's from Musician's Friend where I went and checked it out. Mixers. Some people think just because a mixer's bigger, it's better. It doesn't really mean that. If you have... Hold on, I'll wait for the...
What's a plane?
It's Canada. They're invading. I'm from
Take me
Minnesota.
with you, Canada. Take me with you.
It's the fighter pilots. They're coming.
Take me with you.
Some people think, it's a big mixer. It's got to be better. It doesn't matter because if you have 2 channels where you can plug in 2 microphones, it very rarely do I plug in 2 microphones because there's another person in the room. No, I use the other channel to plug in my phone to do a demo or to plug in my Amazon device to do a demo. That's what a mixer's for. It mixes the sounds in and you can get it into, if it's USB, it plugs right into your computer. That's what I think is important in a mixer today is get a USB one because it's just plug and play basically. But you don't need 8 channels at all. 4 channels would do you fine. 2 channels can do you fine. One of them that I've used and other people I've suggested to, I think there's 3-4 of them that I know that are out there, is the Behringer Q802. It's an 8, but each channel is considered 2, so there's actually 4. You got 2 for your XLRs, and then you got 2 for your stereo plug-in, so you can plug it into your phone and get that type of recording. They're just handy. They just work good, and it's been tested. I've had mine that I bring up to the camper or when I'm traveling to hotels and stuff. That's conventions. That's the one I bring, and it works good. Serina uses one. Pete Lane uses one, and
the Behringer 802.
Behringer Q802.
I had the 502 for years when I started out, and then I went up to the 802 and the 12. We start getting into the 1200 series. I think that was when the 1204 had effects, and they're cheesy little effects. I'd rather use the separate effects or apply them later, but I always thought that was fun. For people that are just getting started, they're brand new and they just want to flip switches and make noise and see how it sounds. It's kind of a fun thing. Not complicated.
I have that Allen and Heath mixer, and I have effects on it, and they're not that bad, but when your cat walks across your mixer and turns on your big church-style big room echo, and all of a sudden you go to do something, all you're going, hello, what's going on? Yeah, so if you have a cat,
keep them
tell
off
us
the
about
mixer.
it. So Raqi.
So Jeff.
What do you got going on?
I have going?
One more
thing.
One more
This is
thing.
my one more thing.
AirTags. I want everything.
I want the AirTags.
Come now, Jeffrey. You must stop this infatuation with AirTags. You have to understand that this may never come. It is unhealthy. Oh, stop it, Jeffrey. Stop. Come on. You have to... Would you like to have a cookie? Will a cookie make you feel better?
Yeah, I'd like the AirTags. I would like to see the AirTags next week. But, I'm not holding my breath.
I kind of feel like it's going to be a Mac thing
I do too.
primarily.
And the phones.
So if the AirTags happen, it'll be a nice surprise.
We'll talk about the phones and the Macs for sure, but that's good enough for me. I'm sure there'll be some extras in there, but I'm basically, I know that they're going to cover what I'm going for. So
it's been a really good year.
It has.
A good year, rather, for Apple this year.
Has.
Apple things.
Do you think that's why Big Sur's taken such a long time?
Yes.
I don't know. When I started the beta, it's like, whoa, long.
It feels like it's been
a long
like
time.
9 months already. Doesn't
Yeah.
it? I mean,
It's due to birth.
yeah.
It's time. It's reached its gestation.
Give it to the rest of us. Come on. I didn't beta test this year. I didn't do Big Sur.
Yeah, I'm really curious about it.
I usually test Mac OS, but
I threw it onto my MacBook Pro and it works fine. A couple things are different, like the App Store is a little different. It's like it's not the same experience. It's like, okay, whoa, what's going on? But I figured it out a little bit. And Twitter, I downloaded Twitter on there. And it's getting better. They've been updating Twitter quite a bit.
Good.
It's getting better, but the interaction, it's always been different on a Mac when you go onto your social networks. I don't recommend going on the Facebook or anything on a Mac. I use my phone for all that stuff. But it is nice when you can have the option to do something like that.
Yeah.
Audio hijack does not work yet.
Oh.
It gives me a warning.
they have to catch up after. That happens a lot with
A lot
them.
of others are still working. Like when I go into Amadeus Pro, it works.
Cool.
Audio hijack, they wait till the last time
God,
I
I hope
updated.
they fix it.
They do.
I contacted them and they said, well, we'll have it out by the time. And they will. And probably the day of, the day before, they're very good at accessibility. It's just that when you're beta testing, I can't do it to my main machine because I have
You need
to.
audio hijack.
Yeah,
to
and that's
work.
why I tried it on there, and I just was hoping, crossing my fingers. But my camping season was over, and we're not traveling, so I don't need that on the road unit. But it's fun to test it out. It's a little different.
How do you find the sidecar apps to be like messages and such?
I don't like it.
I don't either.
No.
Just based on how it was described to me, I don't think that's not gonna be. Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, even when you go into the podcast app, even when you go into the music app,
that's another thing.
it's like, it seems like you're taking the long way around, I know there's a gate here somewhere, but you got to go all the way around the house to get into the backyard, It's like,
yes.
and that's the frustrating thing. I just want to play the music. I don't know every shortcut. You just want to explore, but it seems like you got to go down the left side, up the top, across the top, down here, and then you finally get there and you're like, oh, so then you play the song and then it lands you over here again. So you got to...
Do you have an iPad?
Yeah.
I find that to be the case in the music app for iPad too. It's just the play controls aren't terribly. I don't know. It's doable, but it's just it's not a pleasant experience.
It's designed for someone who's looking at the screen. It seems busy.
For voiceover, like you can jump around and stuff, but it's just not. It's very busy.
It's busy. I hate when pages are like screens in general are just like that, and they could be compartmentalized and divided a lot more neatly, but they're not. They're just all over the place and. Add voiceover being jumpy to a busy screen, and it's a...
I'd like voiceover to put focus in an intuitive place with these types of apps.
Yeah. Or stay where you put it, or... Yeah.
Or just stay in one place.
Like when you're in the App Store on the Mac and you finally get to where your update is, and then you have to interact, go right, then interact, and then, update. And then if you want to update all, you got to go past all that stuff, come all the way around the back side, and then there it is up on top. But you can't just get there.
Can you jump like with function VO, function right arrow and left arrow? Can you jump to the beginning and end like you would with home and end on the...
You can tab a little bit, but it seems like once you start digging in a little bit, you always end up down at the bottom again, and you go, oh wait, gotta go back.
It sounds indicative. It sounds like a lot like the Microsoft Office ribbon. I'm not liking the sound of this here. You're making it
They were just talking about that.
sound like
That's kind of what it feels like.
you hit this, except when you don't, then you hit that instead. I mean, it just sounds like no man's land. I'll be curious to
A little convoluted.
play with it.
I think that's why we have our phones, because I do all my social stuff basically on there. I do use the web for Twitter when I'm publishing, because I can go there right away. I can go to Facebook, but it's just, I'm not searching down their columns. I'm not going down the list or anything like that, using J and going, I'm not doing that. I'm just publishing.
Do you use your trackpad, Jeff, at all to run down lists really quick and to...
No, I don't.
to scroll and stuff. I find like
I
interacting.
use Trackpad Commander all the time.
I use the 2-finger left and right swipe gesture that I've assigned on the iPhone to headings to move around with the trackpad. It's a lifesaver on the Mac for interacting here and there. I mean, you can do it all from the keyboard too, but the trackpad is so much quicker because you just touch it.
Yep.
In the area of the screen where
so you turn it on like your rotor style? You turn it on to headings?
Turn it on with your rotor.
Yeah, you hold down VO and spin the rotor and it turns the trackpad commander on, and then your trackpad is like your iPhone, except it's your Mac screen instead. And so if you need to move around the screen, you just touch the trackpad in different places. You can use a Mac almost exclusively.
And a lot of your
just with
commands
the
are similar,
trackpad.
except the interaction command is a 2-finger swipe left and right, respectively.
Yeah.
2-finger swipe right to interact.
I'll try that with the beta.
That makes using the Mac a whole... I keep hearing from people how inefficient the Mac is, but then I find out my boss is like that, but he doesn't use his trackpad.
Trackpad Commander is
Well,
amazing.
that's why.
And that's where you
Try
hold
that,
down your
'cause-
VO, you do the rotor trackpad commander on.
Turn it on.
2
and
fingers
then it's on.
counterclockwise or clockwise to turn it on and off with your voiceover
Clockwise,
keys.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess I have used that a couple times, but I'm going to try it on the social networks because I want to try it on Big Sur on my MacBook Pro, because that would really change a few things, because sometimes you're just sitting there and you don't want to, you might as well try something, I think experimenting
See
is
how
good.
you go.
Yeah. I'll
Might help.
report back on the next show.
Definitely.
Yeah, it might make some of those inefficient seeming things seem more efficient. Boy, there's a redundant statement. for this.
Trackpads, making inefficiency efficient all over again.
Seem more efficient. I can tell I've been awake for way too many hours.
Yeah. That's okay.
We put the efficiency in efficiency.
That's right.
It is redundant. I think you're right, Raqi. Come on, Apple. Just do it right the first time. We don't have to say it twice.
Up there with Shure. Sure, we do.
Apple, it just works. It just works.
It does.
That's it.
It just works.
Until it doesn't.
Yeah,
And then there's a reason for it.
that's right. Well, I think next time we're going to be talking about the one more thing, of course, and these new phones that'll be dropping into the palms of Raqi's in my hands. Maybe, probably, could be.
Mm-hmm.
The HomePod Mini.
Ooh, I just realized we're going to be divided 2 Maxes and 2 Pros.
Ooh.
Yeah, 2 Pro Maxes and 2 Pros.
Maybe. Yeah. Unless I break for the Pro too. I like the size of the Pro better, but
I
the
do
battery
too.
life is what's going to clinch it.
We might have to expand the studio with these big Maxes in here now.
Big Max.
Yeah.
Maxes.
All these Pros and Maxes.
The Pro
what are you gonna
Max.
do?
Yeah.
Pro to the max.
That's right.
Every time I turn around, people are going to have to start the duck. Watch out. He's swinging that thing around here. I'm really curious about the Max. And I'm really curious about the photography, because my daughter is a semi-photographer type of person.
Oh, nice.
And I just want to see what it does for her and see what it thinks about.
I want to see if there's going to be a huge dramatic difference between the Pro camera and the Max.
Have you noticed anything yet?
Not yet, but I haven't played with the Max yet, so I'm going to try to compare that when I go to the Apple Store.
There you go. Take a picture of the guy helping you, the gal helping you.
Yeah. Shoot some video and airdrop it to somebody. Can you compare this to this?
Yeah. Then have them describe it and we'll put it on the show.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I can't believe your store's open. Your store's open, huh?
Yeah.
Where you live? In Antarctica?
I was going to say, where's she out to come there?
Las Vegas.
Oh,
Vegas.
Yeah. Never sleeps.
We have 4 of them. We have 4 Apple stores pretty close. It's awesome.
Do you know where the Golden Nugget is?
Yeah.
Oh, that was my home away from home. The Starbucks right down there on the street.
Oh, no.
On
The
Fremont.
Nugget. I love the Nugget. That's the coolest. They got the best restaurant in the
I think that's the greatest place to stay because you're on Fremont.
Yes.
It's just really cool. You know what's really neat about Fremont?
Cool.
If you get there, I would go down there early morning. You know those people that do all their little shows on the street? There's like 24 of them. Well, they all come in the morning and walk down to this one spot. And they play that bingo ball thing where you draw the numbers. So you get 5 and then you get 12. So for the first part of the hours, the set of hours, you go to the circle that's on the road. That's number 5. And then when they all switch, then you go to 12. So no one gets the prime spots. It's all luck of the draw. But I would have never figured that out until the second day I'm down there. I said, what are you guys doing? What's the rush? Where are y'all going? And, this guy walking with his family, they're all wearing clogs. I think they were the clog dancers or something. He explained it to me, It was like,
Oh, man.
Good luck, sir. They all go clogging
That was
off,
a great place to stay.
Uh-huh.
That was a lot of fun there.
Did you ever do the guy wire thing?
The zip line.
Zip line. Yeah, it's the world's largest, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's the longest zip line. It's crazy.
Hey, yeah, that's what I should do. I should do it for the podcast. I'll strap on my GoPro.
Put your mics on when you do that. Make
Put
sure
them-
you have
oh
your
my
you
God,
need
that'd be so
binaurals
cool.
on when you do that.
Yeah, the binaural. Yes. That would be
like-
awesome.
It sounds like she her pants. In stereo.
Bloody hell. Going to wet me
The
so.
world's best experience in stereo. Yay.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun, dun. What are you doing?
dun, dun.
Are you singing?
See? Anything goes, right?
There it goes.
It's just one of those things.
Well, I want to thank all of you for listening.
just
If you
never
have
know.
any suggestions, any feedback, give us a call at 612-367-6093. Let us know if we can use your voice
That's
on the
the
podcast.
number.
That's the number.
That's the number. Give us a call.
Magic number.
Ooh, the magic number.
The magic number.
Call the magic number.
With that, abracadabra, poof, we're gone.
Ah, yes, and one more thing.
And then cue our funky music, right?
And for more podcasts with the Blind News Perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities, and give us a call at 612-367-6093. Leave us a message and let us know if we can put your voice on the next podcast. Drop us an email at info@blindabilities.com and download the free Blind Abilities app from the App Store and Google Play Store. That's 2 words, Blind Abilities. And from all of us here at Blind Abilities, through these challenging times, to you, your family, and friends, stay well, stay informed, and stay strong. I want to thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap between
the limited expectations and the reality of blind abilities.
The realities of blind abilities.
For more podcasts with a blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities. Download our app from the App Store, blindabilities, that's 2 words, or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Thanks for listening.